Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Jessica if you are. Today is my first update for my rolling project pan of 2024. I am always working on at least 10 items that I am mostly trying to finish up or hit some kind of usage goal on it. Hit pan, use a certain number of times, but mainly this project is for using items up and getting them out of my collection. So I'm gonna go through all of those items, let you know how many times I've used them, how much of the product I was able to use in that time. I'll also show you progress videos where applicable, which are always fun and satisfying to see. So stay tuned if you're interested in all that, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel. Let's go ahead and get right on into this video. Quickly, I wanted to give you all a finger update on my injured finger on my dominant right hand. So last December, I badly burned my middle finger, and it has been quite a long road, but I have regrown my skin, and you can now see that I have a functioning finger again, and I can even touch and feel things with it again, which was quite the journey. That was probably the hardest part, was just getting it desensitized. All that new baby skin was so sensitive that I had to get it used to gripping and touching and putting pressure and feeling different textures again. So I had like some hand therapy going on. I was rubbing it on like different fuzzy textures to get it used to touching things again, and also went through like different tendon exercises. And the doctor said I was going to lose my fingernail, and as you can see, I didn't. There is like an ugly brown part of my fingernail at the tip, so I painted it to make it look a little bit prettier. I'm not flicking you off. I'm showing you my injured finger. But yeah, so the skin is looking a little bit, strange. You can see this part around my cuticle there is quite dark in color, and I believe that's actually from a chemical burn right when my new fresh skin had grown and the old skin had been taken off. I went to Great Wolf Lodge, and I wasn't not going to go on the water slides. So I went in there with my new fresh baby skin, and it was not quite prepared to withstand that amount of chlorine. And I think I have like a slight little chemical burn, which is like the little dots that you see, but that'll wear away eventually. It doesn't hurt or anything. It just doesn't look very pretty. And it's just par for the course for Jessica. If you don't know me very well, I'm very clumsy, and I tend to have weird things happen to me, like this weird finger burn, although this was totally self-inflicted. I could have avoided this if I was smarter, but accidents happen, don't they? And I'm just happy that I have a healthy, functioning finger again. It really did make a difference in my life, and I appreciate this little girl so much more. She is quite useful, and I use her for a lot of different things. So that is all for the finger update if you were curious, and let's get into the painting update now. Starting with the item that's been in this project the longest, I have been working on the Sculpting Shade from the Tarteist Pro Glow palette since January of 2023. So it's been over a year now that I've been working on this shade, and we're getting very close to finishing it, but we're not quite there yet. Here's what the product was looking like when I brought it into the project way back when, and here's what it was looking like at the end of 2023. I had a nice big pan on there, and I did repress this product, but for some reason I can't find the footage of my original video of when I first repressed it, so I had to take more footage, but that was after using it 9 times. So this footage that you're seeing right here is mostly what it looked like when it was repressed, but you can see there's a tiny little glimmer of a pan on there, and that was after 9 uses in this project. And here's what this product is looking like today, and you can see we have 2, actually kind of 3 areas of pan going on there. It's getting to be quite big and very thin in the pan, and I am so hopeful that this will be used up in the next month, because it's been such a long road with this item. I'm ready to say goodbye to it, and I think we're getting so close. The light is at the end of the tunnel. We can see it, and I'm going to continue working on it, and I can't wait to have this one finished. It's going to feel very satisfying. So as of last month, I started just weighing the pan as it is instead of weighing it as an entire palette to try and get a little bit more accuracy in the weight. Last month, this was weighing 6.78 grams. I used it 24 times in the past month. Today it weighs 6.33 grams, and I use 0.45 grams of product. I've also used this product 254 times so far. So will we get to 300 uses? I hope not, because that's still 46 more uses to go. I would love it if this is empty by the next update, and I'm going to aim for that. Next item is a hair care item from Bedhead. This is the Small Talk from Bedhead. It's like a thickifier, stylizer, energizer, and I've been using this to help enhance my natural wave in my hair. Mostly I use it that way. I sometimes use it just for blowouts, but that's not really what it's intended for. And this one as well has been such a long haul item, and we're still not there yet, but we're getting very close. As of last month, it was very low in the bottle, like way down there, and it got to the point where I couldn't pump it out anymore. So I actually went ahead and added some water into this bottle and just like thinned it out quite a bit, and that helped me get the product out, but it also added a lot of weight to this bottle, so I can't really compare the weights from last month to this month, but I will say that I used it 10 times, and I've now used it 76 times total in this project. since March of last year. And as of today, with that water mixed in with it, it's weighing 88.47 grams. So I will have a comparison for you next month. Hopefully an empty bottle by next month. That would be great. It's been so long and I'm just ready to move on to other hair care items. So that is all for this one. We're almost there, friends. I'm getting sick of it too, I promise. Next item is from NYX. This is a little sample size of their Plump Right Back primer, which I really do enjoy. I would consider repurchasing this in the full size at some point if maybe they were having a sale or if I needed a primer or both. And this one, I'm happy to say, is now empty. Here's what it was looking like when I brought it into the project in December. It was weighing 11.46 grams. In the first month, I used it 7 times, and here's what it was looking like then. And in the past month, I reached for it 15 additional times, making for 22 uses total. And here's what it's looking like today. And it is very, very empty. I've squeezed every little bit out of it that I can. I didn't cut it open because I just wanted to show you this like skinny little packaging. I feel like that's so fun to look at least for me. Last month, I was at 9.05 grams on this item, and this month it's weighing 4.49 grams. So I used 4.56 grams of product in those 15 uses. And in total, I used this 22 times and used up 6.97 grams of product. And now that one is an empty. It's going in the empties bin. The foundation I'm panning this year is the Clinique Even Better Clinical Foundation, and this is in the shade WN46 Golden Neutral, which is not the right shade for me. It is far too yellow for my skin tone, but I finally found the trick of the correct mixture to make this more wearable for myself. So I have this on my face today. I feel like it's matched pretty good right now. And I've been making this work by mixing it in with a blue color corrector, just like a little bit. And then I also have been using a little bit of white concealer to tone it down a little bit for these winter months. And I've been mixing it in with the e.l.f. Halo Glow to kind of sheer it out a little bit, because this is quite a heavy, very full coverage foundation, and that's not really what I prefer on a daily basis. All of those mixtures have made this quite wearable. I actually really do like this foundation. I just got the wrong shade. So at least I'm making it work and I'm getting my money's worth. But this one's going to be with me for quite some time. I have a feeling, because I'm only using like half a pump of product each time I use it. So I don't think I'm going to include any videos for this item right now, because I think it probably will look exactly the same. So if I do, maybe you'll see a slight little difference in the very top. I feel like I'm starting to see the level go down a little bit. When I first brought this in last month, it was weighing 138.6 grams. I reached for it 25 times in the past month. Basically every day I did my makeup. Today it weighs 134.04 grams. So I use 4.56 grams of product, which is pretty average for me when it comes to foundation use, maybe on the lower end of average. And I think if I'm able to use about the same amount of product each month, this should take me about 6 months to use, maybe even 7. So it's going to be with us for a while. And just get used to her. All right. It's going to be a long road with this one, and I'm up for it. You know, I'm always up for the challenge. So it'll be interesting to see how this one develops throughout the year. Next is the Coty Airspun powder that I'm trying to finish this year, and I've been decanting this into another little piece of packaging because this one is completely cracked and leaking and broken, which is very frustrating, which is why I'm trying to pan it. So I really do like this powder. I've liked it for years. I'm not going to run out and repurchase it because of this packaging situation, but it is good quality for the price, in my opinion, and it brings a lot of nostalgia vibes into my makeup routine, which I really enjoy. I've just been weighing these two containers together for my weight comparisons. So last month together, these were weighing 111.58 grams. I used this powder 25 times, again, every single time I did my makeup. Today it weighs 105 grams, so I've used 6.58 grams of product, and I think that's pretty darn good for a loose powder. So this one I'm hoping won't take me more than a couple months to finish up, but I'm gonna be interested to see how long it actually does take. Next is the blush that I'm trying to pan this year. I know, I'm a glutton for punishment, but I am panning another blush. So this is actually a little sample blush. At least I'm giving myself a little bit of a break there. And this is in the shade Bare Minimum. I think I said the shade wrong last month. So it's a really easy, neutral, peachy blush shade. I love this shade for every day. It's the shade I have on my cheeks today. And I'm hopeful I'll be able to pan this little mini without too much trouble during the course of this year and still be able to use other blushes in my collection and enjoy those as well. When I brought this in last month, it was weighing 13.14 grams and it was looking like this. I reached for it 22 times in the past month. Today it weighs 13 grams, so I used 0.14 grams of product, and here's what it's looking like today. And I'm hoping you'll see a slight difference in this product. It might be really hard to tell. Is it any lower from the side? I don't know, but I feel like the pan does look a little bit more loved and worn on the surface. There isn't any silver pan in sight, and it might be a while till we get there. These are quite firmly pressed, pretty pigmented, but a beautiful, really easy wearable shade. And I'm just excited to see how this continues to develop over the next couple months. Another long haul item for this year, I don't know why I do this to myself, but this is from Kaylin. This is their eye polish. It's basically like a eye pigment, and it's very, very shimmery, champagne-y color, and I've been wearing this on the inner corner of my eyes every single day, most days that I do my makeup. There it is in the swatch. It's so pretty, so reflective, but it kind of blends out into nothingness if you're not too careful. So I really have to be mindful of like where I place it and how I blend it. I have it on my inner corner today. Can you tell? There it is. Just that little bit of brightness does really wake up your face and add a lot to a very simple makeup look. Here's what it was looking like when I brought it into the project. It was weighing 16.6 grams. I used it 19 times in the past month. Today it weighs 16.57 grams, so I used 0.03 grams of product, and here's what it's looking like today. And I don't think you'll see much of a difference at all. Maybe it's a little bit lower in the packaging. I can't really say until I see the comparison videos. I'm just happy I had some kind of weight difference on this product. I was a little scared that I wasn't going to get one. I was weighing it kind of periodically throughout the month, and it was just sitting right at that same weight that it started at because I'm using such a tiny, teeny amount of product each time I use it. At least we got a little bit of a budge there in the scale, and this one's going to be with us probably for the whole year. I'm just kind of curious what I'm going to be able to do with it, and it's just an adventure you guys are all along with me on. Hi, honey. My star is here again. Come here, baby. Oh, there we go. He's back. He's been quite the little star lately. All right, you can sit with me for a second. I'm painting a lip gloss right now. This is from L'Oreal. This is their like plumping infallible lip gloss. I don't have the name on it because it rubbed off quite a while ago, but I really want to finish this up. I just don't love the smell of this formula. It doesn't smell off. It's just the smell of the formula. It's kind of minty, which typically doesn't bother me, but it's just like the mint plus the smell. It's a plumping gloss, so of course it's going to have that like minty plumping effect. This just is not my favorite, but I really do love the color, and it looks beautiful with most lipsticks, so it hasn't been difficult for me to reach for. It lives in my purse. I've been reaching for it almost every single day. I have it on today as my lip gloss over the lipstick that I'm panning, and we're getting very close. So here's what it was looking like last month when I brought it in. It was weighing 22.77 grams. I wore this 21 times, and that means 21 days over the past month. Today it weighs 21.67 grams, so I used 1.1 gram of product, and here's what it's looking like today. And I'm hoping that you'll be able to see in the up close that there is some windowing happening on this product. I'll kind of show you up here if I kind of move the wand around. See that winner? Yeah, there is quite a bit of windowing happening. Even if you can't see it, I can. So yeah, we are getting close. I'll probably be removing the stopper from this maybe in the next couple weeks. And there is still quite a bit of product sitting down here in the bottom of the little component there. And I do intend to dig in there and get as much of this product out that I can and really, truly pan this lip gloss. I haven't panned a lip gloss in a while, and it'll be very exciting to have an empty lip gloss soon. I have all my products on my lap, and he wants to be in my lap. How dare they be in your way? I've been painting this lip scrub from Fourth Ray Beauty, which I believe is ColourPop's beauty care line. This lip scrub is in the scent vanilla, and I've really been enjoying reaching for this. I've been putting this on first thing in the morning while I'm doing my skincare, letting that kind of sit in for a second, exfoliate my lips during these dry winter months, and then go in with a chapstick while I'm doing the rest of my makeup to let that soak in. And I've used quite a bit of product using it that way. So here's what it was looking like last month when I first brought it in. It was weighing 21.97 grams. I reached for it 22 times in the past month. Today it weighs 20.73 grams. I used 1.24 grams of product, and here's what it's looking like today. And I have cut this product down almost in half, I believe. I also have some markings drawn in my book. It's actually gone quite a bit faster than I even thought that it would. Here I have it shown in my book. So this is where it started in January, and we are all the way down there in this early first day of February. So I'm hopeful this might be empty by the next month. Definitely in 2 months. I'm going to keep it up, try and reach for it every single day, and maybe that one will be empty for us by the next update. That would be great. Next item is the lipstick that I'm currently trying to finish up. This is from KVD. This is their studded lip cream in the shade Cathedral, and I'm also wearing this on my lips right now. It's quite a deep tone for a nude, which I actually really enjoy. It's not my favorite shade to wear during the winter months. I really prefer this more in like the fall, but for certain makeup looks it actually pairs quite well. But this one's going to be a challenge, friends. I will tell you that right now. It's very pigmented, it has quite a stiff formula, and it lasts a long time throughout the day, so I don't need to reapply it very much, especially if I'm not wearing a gloss over it. It really stains and lasts on the lips, which is a great thing, but not so great when you're trying to pan something. you know? So here's what it was looking like when I first brought it into the project last month. It was weighing 25.72 grams. I reached for it 9 times over the past month. Again, that's 9 days of using it. Today it weighs 25.51 grams, so I used 0.21 grams of product, and here's what it's looking like today. And I'm hoping you'll see some sort of difference from last month to this month. I think we're getting at least a little bit closer to that little embossing right there on the bullet. And also to make our progress a little bit more obvious, I also have been marking this one on my book, and I have just a slight little change from last month to this month. So there we were in January, and we just used that little tiny bit in those 9 uses. It's really more like 10 uses. I think I put it on for this video and didn't count it, but there it is. And it's gonna be a while. This one could be with me for most of the year, which I'm a little nervous about because there's a lot of other lip products that I want to work on this year. So it might take a little bit of a break, maybe in the spring when, you know, shades like this just aren't really what I'm going to be wanting to reach for. And then I might bring it back in at some point. But I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I'm going to keep working on it in February, maybe March, and then we'll reevaluate early April, see how we feel. But I would love to finish this up soon. But I am really happy I brought this into my project. It's something I kind of forgot that I had, and it's a really beautiful shade and a beautiful formula. So I'm happy it's getting used, and we'll just continue to see what happens with it throughout the year. It's going to be a while. It's going to be slow and steady, but that's kind of the way I like to do these projects if you haven't noticed already. I kind of like to mix up like easy products with more difficult products just to keep it interesting for myself. And the last item is a sample. I decided to bring in some samples as like my 11th item into this project each month just to remind myself to get through them and use them because they're all items that I want to get out of my collection. Just like this little stash of samples we all forget about. So this one was from Pixi. This is their Glow Mud Cleanser, just like a face wash. And I'm happy to say this is empty. When I first brought this into the project last month, it was weighing 18.24 grams. I reached for it 12 times or washed my face with it about 12 times. Today it's weighing 4.69 grams and it is empty today. So I used up 13.55 grams of product. And I think there might be like one more little squeeze I could get out of this thing. I might go for that tonight, but I'm happy to say this is empty. And I actually really did enjoy using this product. It was really very gentle. It had a nice feeling on the skin. It didn't make my face feel dry or tight after I used it. It just felt very, I don't know, it had like a nice feel. I really enjoyed it. I can't really describe it. I thought it would be more of like a mud mask, but it's really not. It's just kind of like a very gentle exfoliating cleanser. So I enjoyed this one. I'm not going to run out and purchase the full size. Skincare is not really something I like to experiment with. I have my products that I like that I'm pretty faithful to, but you know, if this ever came up, I might consider it. If it was on sale, if I needed a cleanser, I would recommend it to a friend. I enjoyed the experience of using it. So I'm happy to say I got to know this one, and I'm happy to say it's gonna be checked away into my empties. So those were all of the items I've been working on in the past month for this project. We have those 2 empties, the NYX primer, as well as the Pixi Glow Mud Cleanser. So that means I'm gonna bring in 2 new items, 1 item that, you know, I'm trying to finish just from my regular makeup collection, and then 1 sample as like my bonus item. Because I finished a primer, I'm going to bring in another primer. This is from L'Oreal. This is their Magic Perfecting Base, and it is their version of a pore filling primer. And I actually really, really enjoy this one. It is the best pore filling primer I found from the drugstore. And I have a little bit of product in here used, but it's just getting older in my collection. I think I've had it for like 3 years at this point, and I barely remember to reach for it. Maybe more like 2 years. It's been long enough. It's about time for me to get used on this item. So I think for this, I'm going to try and hit pan on it. That's like my initial goal. I might change my mind. I might decide to just go for it and finish it up completely this year. But that's where we are right now. I don't really need a product like this on a regular basis. I mean, I definitely have pores that can be filled, but it's not something that really bothers me in my regular makeup routine. This is something I really tend to reach for like special occasions when I really want my makeup to look perfect for something. And for most day-to-days, I don't really care if I have some pores that are visible, but I'm going to reach for it. I'm going to see what I can do with it. I'm going to see if it really does make a difference in my makeup on my regular day-to-day wear. And maybe I will find that it's something that I really enjoy reaching for and that I would like to incorporate into my daily routine that does make enough of a difference for me to have that extra step in my makeup routine. So for today, this one is weighing in at 65.16 grams. And for now, I'm just gonna say we'll hit pan. But again, that goal might change just depending on how I feel. I like to give myself a little bit of wiggle room sometimes with certain goals. And for the sample, I'm really giving myself a softball here. This is from Dr. Dennis Gross, and it is just a one-time use of their universal daily peel. So it has 2 steps here. One step is to exfoliate and smooth. The second step is the anti-aging neutralizer. I've never used this product before. I've never heard of it. I'm a little nervous that it might be a little harsh for my sensitive skin, but just one little use shouldn't hurt me too bad. We'll see. I might enjoy a little extra exfoliation during these winter months when my skin's feeling a little bit more dry. So that is the 11th bonus sample item, and that is all for my update today. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a quick thumbs up before you leave if you did. I love hearing from you in the comments, so if you have any opinions about these products or tips for panning them, I love hearing from you. Butter and I are wishing you all the best, and we can't wait to see you in our next video. Until then, bye! He hates me. He's still purring. Bye, everybody.